എൻ്റെ ഇത് ആദ്യത്തെ ട്രിപ്പാണ് ടു വയനാട്. ഞാൻ മലയാളി അല്ല, പക്ഷേ I feel that I'm an accultured. I love Kerala so much that I feel I belong to this place. So there is, we all connect for a purpose. So maybe the purpose brought me here to Kerala, and I love the landscape. And they say in deep ecology, they say mindscapes connect landscapes. I personally feel that we are a democracy, right? So the more the people, whatever, if the people say more development, obviously there is development. If people say more conservation, obviously there will be conservation. So more the people join together and vouch for conservation, then only conservation will happen. And it is not just with a few handful of forest officials or handful of scientists or handful of wildlife biologists. It has to come from the masses, and it has to trickle down to the masses. It's not just a top down approach. It has to be a bottom up approach. To share a very small, I think I have already crossed 10 minutes. So whenever I am called to speak in some event, I'm a mother, I'm an officer. I have a lot of different roles to play. So I would be rushing from one role to other, and finally I would land up on the stage to talk on something. Then you can't ask anybody else, to record for you. So I would ask my driver that you please record whatever I am speaking, so that I go back and hear whether I've spoken right or wrong. And my driver would listen to my talks. And when we are driving back, I would ask him, did you understand what I spoke? Then he would then narrate to me what he understood. So I feel if my driver is able to understand what I spoke, if my driver is able to understand conservation, then I think my message has gone to everyone. So long as we do the message doesn't reach the last mile, so long as whatever we experiment, whatever we study, whatever laws we enact, whatever research we do, whatever administration we do, if it is not percolating to the last person in our society, then I think we are failing somewhere. And if it reaches, then we will definitely succeed in this drive for conservation. So this is one example. In another 2 minutes, I'll end with another. I think in the group I was hearing that somebody was talking about urban forestry model, right? You wanted to hear about urban forestry. Again, another story. I'll take 2 minutes. I think I've been sharing with them in the morning. So I have a friend called Hari. He lives in Trivandrum. So one day he came to my office when again I was director environment, and he says he wants to grow a Miyawaki forest. How many of you heard about Miyawaki?
Yes.
Okay, great. So he said he wants to do it. Was way back in 2016 when Miyawaki was a new thing. So he told me that there's a person in Bangalore. He has created a Miyawaki forest, and would you like to hear him on the TED Talk? So we opened our computer and we heard the person talking about Miyawaki. Then I asked him, can we call him for some seminar in Kerala? Then he called him up and he asked for a huge money to talk. Then he said, with that money, I think we can create a Miyawaki forest, provided you fund it. But then he was from the multimedia. He owned a multimedia company, and when in the government we fund, we look for authentication, background check, and he had actually that time no experience in planting. So I said, see, my hands are tied. I can't give you funds because you're from the multimedia sector. You have no experience in planting. So he went back. After 2 months he came. He said, ma'am, I have done a research, and a friend of mine, a scientist in TBGRI, is ready to partner for the technical inputs, and I would grow the forest with my money, provided you fund us for documenting it. So I said, yes, that makes sense. So we funded 5 lakh rupees to document Miyawaki forest in Kerala, and the first Miyawaki came up in Puliyarokonam, Trivandrum, in his own property. There are a lot of videos you would find in YouTube, which you could see about. I couldn't download because my net doesn't work here. So the first Miyawaki came, then the tourism department took cue from it. Then we had the second Miyawaki in Kananakunnu Palace. Within 18 months, the plants would grow up to 18 to 20 feet height. Then I was back in forest department, so the forest department wanted to have Miyawaki, so we had 3 Miyawakis, one in Neyad Forest Division, one in Suvarna Udyanam. In the Cochin airport, we have a property of the forest department. We have a park, and we had one in Thrissur, which was a roadside waste dump. You know, when forest department, we have a lot of small patches of land in the city, and normally either it gets encroached or it becomes a waste dumping ground. So such small places we could clean up, and we could have established Miyawaki forest. From there, the Kerala Innovation Council also took a cue, and now they had funded around 20 Miyawaki forests all across Kerala. So now we have around 41 established Miyawaki forests in different government departments. We have many private people coming up and doing Miyawaki, and Miyawaki is something which is a Japanese technology of growing a forest in an urban small setup. They say that Tata Motors started it first in India, and they used to say that growing forests in your backyard. And I have seen from my own experience that within the actually the biodiversity comes back, and you can grow it on a barren land, you can grow it on a rocky area, you can grow it on mining overburdens, you can grow Miyawaki in any kind of a place where you need to do a little research, because the crux is that you have to grow a indigenous forest, the species that are indigenous to the area, and there's a formula for growing Miyawaki, and lot of literature is in the net. You could go around Kerala and see a lot of Miyawaki forests, and if you have a 5 cents land, you can grow a 5 cent Miyawaki. If you have 2 cents land, you can grow a 2 cent Miyawaki. If you want a fruit Miyawaki forest, you can grow a fruit Miyawaki forest, and this was standardized by a Japanese botanist called Akira Miyawaki. So these are two stories I could tell from my experience in Kerala, and they say that, I think he already said that to love something you should know something, and only when you know something you protect something. So as he rightly said that once to love and protect, first thing you should know, and the best way is when you are walking or you are trekking, to observe and know. Once you start observing, you'll know more, and once you start knowing more, you will start loving it, and once you start loving it, you'll feel like protecting it. You'll feel that it's close to your heart. And with these words, I think I have overshot the time by 5 minutes. So I'm really thankful to all of you for getting an opportunity to know you, speak to you. എൻ്റെ ഇത് ആദ്യത്തെ ട്രിപ്പാണ് ടു വയനാട്. ഞാൻ മലയാളി അല്ല, പക്ഷേ I feel that I'm an accultured. I love Kerala so much that I feel I belong to this place. So there is, we all connect for a purpose. So maybe the purpose brought me here to Kerala, and I love the landscape. And they say, in deep ecology, they say mindscapes connect landscapes. So when your minds connect, the landscapes connect on their own. So Sir is from Tamil Nadu, residing in Bangalore. I'm from Odisha, having Odisha Kerala card. Tanmay is from Odisha. My husband, he's in here, and Ashish is from Bhubaneswar. All of us are connected, from different places, because somewhere our mindscapes have connected, and it's for a larger cause of conservation. And I wish you all the best, and keep spirits high, keep walking. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wise words.